Yeah, because you have to remember this is before comic book movies were particularly popular.
Right.
In fact, this was one of those, I think, turning point movies, I would argue. Because a lot of stuff before this, they made adaptations of relatively obscure comics like Blade, for example. I've
Oh
actually
yeah.
heard those movies are pretty good, but like, who knows Blade? Like everybody knows Spider-Man. They made Superman movies, but those were
Well,
no
those.
comment. They made Batman movies. But this
I
one was
like the
kind of like
Superman movies, by the way. I enjoy them.
you can take
I
that.
enjoy them. They definitely are major camp, but they're products of the time. And this first one specifically, that one's in the 70s or something. But I mean, they're
Yeah.
products of their time was the point.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, much later, they had some more technology to be able to. And I think, if I'm jumping over into your realm a little bit here, I think
Okay.
that's one of the things that critics really liked about it was it was very technically, it was incredible.
Yeah, there is some cool technical feats that he pulls
Right.
off. Like just like the wall climbing scene is still really cool.
Right.
It looks really nice.
Which apparently was
Um,
more simply done than most people think. But
yeah.
outside of that, you have like the swinging and how all
Hmm.
that's done and how natural his CGI looked for like the body double of Tobey Maguire and stuff.
Hmm.
It looks really great.
The thing about it is, and this was something I was noticing almost immediately with the rewatch, is that the script is extremely tight. Yes, there's a lot of lines that are really campy or lame, but those are lines that specifically pay homage to the comic book versions and like
Mm,
the old comic book versions and the old cartoon.
right.
Like those things have been brought in. And then Sam Raimi knows how when enough is enough, though. I think that's
Right.
something I appreciate about
Yep.
him because it doesn't seem like that on the surface because he can go into these really extreme realms where you're like, just taken at face value, you'd be like, this is so crazy. But he actually does dial it back and he's like, no, this is a serious moment. When Uncle Ben is telling Peter this, I want you to take that scene seriously. So everything just sort of stops. All the goofy campiness stops. And then he goes, here's a serious moment. We're going to do that serious moment, and I'm just going to shoot it in a relatively straightforward way. Then afterwards, we can go back to having fun again. And so, because he's able to do very definitive lines between that, I think that's another reason why it works for critics. So, like, the script is solid.
Yeah.
Like the opening scene, or one of the earlier scenes when Peter meets up with Harry and they're gonna go to tour the spider exhibit or whatever. It's like we're introduced to Harry and how that's his best friend. We're introduced to Norman Osborn and he has a interaction with Peter as well. And it's not a lot of dialogue. It's just enough for like the interactions between the characters to become made apparent to the viewer
Mm.
and not like a word more. So that's really good. And then it also like ends